Today I'm talking with Jason Caston, author of the iChurch Method Volumes 1 and 2, as well as How to Get 1 Million Social Media Fans. Jason is a church communications consultant, especially when it comes to social media and the web. Notably, he's worked extensively with the Potter's House and T.D. Jakes Ministries, as well as Saddleback Church. He's a contributor to FaithVillage.com, which I'm thankful for, and also a knowledgeable speaker who just recently came back to the States from a speaking engagement in Dubai. So thanks for your time today, Jason.
Oh, wow, man. You make me sound really important. I like that guy you just described.
So let's talk about the evolution of Jason Caston into a church communications consultant. What was the first website you created or worked on?
Wow. The first website I did ever before even thinking about church was back in college. And this is how I got into any type of web development or communications at all. I did a website for a small college organization I was a part of, and the reason I made the website was just to see a picture of myself on the internet. I mean, that was so fascinating to me back in like 97, 98. So I just researched how to do that because it wasn't nearly as easy as it is today. There was no WYSIWYG editors and all that type of stuff. You had to write the code and learn how to load it up in Unix and all that type of stuff. But once I figured that out and saw that, when you made a website, you actually could control how it looked on this new thing called the internet that was only a couple years old, then I really realized that's something I wanted to do. But the turning point was about a year later. I think I just put a resume out or something just to see what the future will hold for me. I still wasn't graduating for a couple of years. And ESPN.com called me for an interview. And I bombed the interview terribly over the phone, but I still had a couple years of college left, so I just was playing around with them. But I realized you could get paid to do websites. And from there, I had a career.
So when did you start to see how your technological gifts could be used for God's kingdom?
Well, that came about 2007 when I moved from Chicago to Los Angeles, and I was looking for a job out there, and this large church out there called me. The church that I was familiar with and had seen on TV and stuff like that. And they called me and asked me did I want to come work for the ministry. And when I went out to the campus and checked it out, I was just very impressed with how it looked and stuff like that, but I didn't know exactly what I was getting into. And then I went and had the interview with the lady who hired me, and it was less like an interview and more like just a good connection with her and with the ministry. And from there, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I was really tired of corporate America. I had probably been laid off or fired or walked off a job probably about 25 times prior to then. So yeah, my mom says it took God hiring me for me to stay at a job. So that's the funny thing about that.
Aside from, quitting 25 jobs, what advice do you have for those like yourself who want to use their technological prowess to benefit the church?
Well, first and foremost, this is interesting because my wife was just asking me about how she wanted to look at her career to use it for better fulfillment. I say first, if you want, I would say get your experience in the corporate environment. That's the path that I took, and that just kind of gave me much more experience of looking at things from a different perspective. And then once you have that experience, then I was more comfortable enough to transition over into the church environment. So I just think that if you want to use your technical expertise for the ministry, just make sure that you have the expertise to help the ministry, because usually a lot of the ministries I've worked with, they may not have large budgets and they may not have a lot of people. So, they have where you're working by yourself, you might be a one-man department, or you're responsible and you're wearing a lot of hats. So you need to be able to organize your day, organize your time, and have the expertise to do a lot of things at once. And that seemed to be something I learned in the corporate environment, and then I was able to translate that over to the church environment.